Welcome everyone to the Taylor School District regularly scheduled board meeting of September 4th, 2024, where our mission statement is to educate, engage, and empower those we serve. And our vision statement is that we will be the innovative destination district where all succeed. We call to order at 6 p.m. Mr. Wright.
Here.
Ms. Black is here. Mr. Heath.
Here.
Mr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Thomas.
Here.
Mrs. Thomas. Here. Mrs. Shufelt is excused for tonight. You would all please stand, those in attendance and those online if you want to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, number 3 on our agenda is good news, and we'll, Ms. Graham, would you please take that away?
Hello, everyone. So we are promoting the You Matter message this year. And Erica Smith has put together a t-shirt order, and we're hoping that everybody participates in that. And she wrote a little blurb about how this all got started. So I'd like to share that with you. Group t-shirts began a couple of years ago when Wes was having respect shirts made for the staff that they could wear every Monday. They've evolved with different sayings to promote unification and positivity throughout the building, and eventually Hoover jumped on board. Both Mr. Doyle and Mr. Hall wanted a positive message to convey to all that came into their buildings. So Ms. Smith and Mr. Doyle worked together on the messages to be displayed on the shirts. Last year, Be Kind, which you will notice is see that? I come prepared. On the Be Kind shirts was a huge hit, and the 2 middle schools also sold them throughout the district. This year, they've decided to come up with a new quote, You Matter. All kids, all adults, everybody in this district matters. They always put a friendly quote on the back. Last year's was a quote from Maya Angelou. This year's is to the person behind me. You are amazing, beautiful, and enough. Remember that.
So we can all get one of those.
Yes. So I don't have the link. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but I know that that will be forwarded out throughout the district so that everybody can order that shirt if they'd like to. And then we all can be wearing the same shirt, kind of a synonymous message as we go throughout the year.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Comments? Thank you, Ms. Graham. Number 4, revisions, approval of agenda. Mr. Wright.
Item number 4, revision / approval of the agenda, policy 0166. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? A motion. Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Second.
Support by Mr. Morris. Ms. Block?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt's excused. Mr. Wright is a yes. That carries 6-0.
All right, number 5, scheduled reports. Mine is not a formal report. I was able to go to the Summer Institute from MASB, and it was in Gaylord, which is a long drive on a Friday afternoon. But I was able to go, and it was very enlightening. I have not been able to go to a formal conference because of my work schedule, but I have gone now, and I've come back with many, many, many ideas, much to your chagrin. So first and foremost, committees were disbanded a few years ago. We will be having committee meetings. Our first one is going to be policy, which I propose that we do quarterly. Since we are going to have a change of the guard in a little more than, well, less than 100 days, actually. 87, I think that's the polls, right? actually, January 1st, so that's less than 100 days. But anyhow, we are going to set up a policy meeting. It'll probably be on a Wednesday that, we have open right now. Everybody feel free to come. We will be starting with, I guess, the 100s and work our way down. They haven't been gone through in about 6 years when I first came on the board. Another committee that I'm very interested in, it just flew out of my head. So you should always have a prepared script. Oh, yeah, that too. Finance too, but, something that we never did when I first got on this board, because everything always got changed to a special meeting. We called them, COWS, Committee of the Whole. I think instead, I thought the idea of having a committee retreat, a board retreat, which works in the same way. It's kind of a study session. I don't think we get to study things enough. So, and if it works out well, we'll have a study session once a month and a board meeting once a month. So we'll see how that goes. We'll start that probably at the turn of the year. But, we will be picking a date shortly for the policy to start on that. Okay, coming up is the MASB Delegate Assembly, and that is in Lansing. Is there anyone interested in going to Lansing? It starts on Thursday, October 24th, and runs through October 27th. This is a networking opportunity. This is also a chance to take classes. Well, it's a good opportunity. I don't think education is ever wasted, as long as people look at it and bring it forward. Are there any questions for myself?
It's not regarding the second point, the first one. Did you say you're bringing back a finance committee?
Some ways down the road, yes.
So it won't be now, it'll be down the road, you said?
We're gonna go with this on the fly, okay? So I want to first get policy going. And then we'll work on the rest of them. I really want to do this, whatever we call it, work study session, COW. We never did a COW in the previous board. We never got a chance to. We always had something that came up, so we had to have a special meeting. So, and the boards that do it seem pretty happy with the way that they do it. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Thanks for letting me go. Discussion items. Up first, the Bloom Agreement, Mr. Ross. Oh.
Good afternoon, John Ross, IT Director. So first, apologies. So first I want to talk about our Bloom renewal that we have. This is for Google Workspace for Education, which we use for all of our apps. In previous years, we funded it with a grant funded source, but this year I have to ask for additional general fund dollars in order to fund this for the next school year. We're currently in year 2 of 3 of this agreement. And the amount that we need for year 2 is $26,220. Google's basic, our Google Workspace is basically our backbone. This is how we educate our kids. This is how we communicate throughout the district. It includes apps like Google Classroom, which we use in the classroom, and both for that and virtual learning. It's our email platform. And of course, it includes things like Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, Google Meet, and some other smaller tools that we use as well. So as you can see, we can't really go without it. And then my hopes are in the future, we'll be able to find another funding source other than the general fund to handle that. That's really all I have for that one. Any questions about that?
Was this already built into this year's budget for?
It was not. I'm asking for new additional general fund dollars because in the past, we had used 31A dollars, and that's no longer, or I'm told we cannot use that any longer for this. So for at least this year, it'll be an additional budget amendment of the $26,220. Additional general fund dollars that I'm requiring to pay for this. And then again, in future years, I'd like to try to find additional funding sources if possible to do that. So I'll be looking into that over the next year before the next renewal comes up.
Was it not supposed to be from 31A?
To my understanding, it shouldn't have been in the first place.
Okay. All right, John, you want to just stay up there? Anybody have any other questions for John at this point? All right, John, you want to start talking about the Toshiba contract renewal?
Sure. This one's a little bit more fun. I think this will offset what we were just talking about. So previously we had AT&T POTS lines. That POTS is just a term for, it stands for plain old telephone service. It's your old copper line that came into your house, and that's what we had around the district for our fax lines. So when I first got here, that was one of the things that I looked into. And after we got our new copier machines, we were introduced to an eFax solution that could save us a lot of money. So we did a small test, and I think a lot of you probably remember us doing that. So previously we were paying $28,361 a year for our faxing around the district. The contract that you guys need to sign here is just it's a 5-year or 60,000 credit solution. And it's just a continuation of us going from our old copper lines to this. And that's going to just be $56.70. And I anticipate that that's going to last us actually longer than a year. So I don't really anticipate it being an annual expense, although I'll budget as though it would be. But again, you could see that we're looking at almost a $23,000 a year savings just by switching to that service. And as of right now, everybody's off the old copper systems and onto the new eFax solution. So we're already ported over completely.
Anybody have any questions for John or comments?
This isn't part of any additional funding, by the way. This was already something that was budgeted in my 24-25 approved budget.
Thank you, John.
Mhm.
Item number 3 on discussion, Myers Roof, Mr. Gerard.
Good evening, everybody. So over the past week or so, we've had some extra leaks showing up at Myers. So I met the roofer over there today. We did a walkthrough, and with the new roof that was put down is a rubber membrane, and the old roof is a rubber membrane topped with gravel. Where they tied the area in, it's very difficult to tie an old system in with a new system. We have had some extra leaks, like I said, pop up in the older area and the new area. So, looking further into it, I really recommend that we look at replacing the older section of that roof to help. The older section was put in the early 2000s, so it's nearing its life now expectancy. And some of the areas, the rubber membrane you can see is getting a little weaker. I mean, it hasn't compromised the integrity of the building or the roof, but it is getting a little weaker and softer in spots. So I met with the contractor. We will have a report Monday with pictures and all that, everything else that I can send out. But I do recommend that we look at replacing the other half of that roof.
What would be the cost of that?
There's a budget price. When I talked to the contractor we use, a budget price of about $700,000 to do it right.
Where's the money coming from?
That would have to be general fund.
There may be possibilities depending on how, what we still have in the bond fund as well.
Okay.
It could cover some
Yeah,
of
that
that
I
as
don't
well.
know.
Yes.
Jack, can you walk through, just, I know you said it in a very light manner about what's been happening every time it rains, but from basically my understanding, going to the building, seeing it, talking to the staff, every time it rains, there's new parts of the building that are flooding.
There are, and in the new areas that we had the roof put on also, I think it's leaking more than it did before. I do have pictures of the new roof that where the repairs need to be done. When they tied the system in, the rubber membrane was laid on top of the gravel and it was maybe a bead of caulk to seal it. So I know, I'm gonna say I know that we will have problems in the future, in the very near future. We have areas now of the old roof that are leaking now that never leaked before. We did get some damage in a couple of the classrooms, and I spoke with a teacher yesterday and I asked her, I said, I haven't seen any reports of leaks in that area. And she's like, no, this is the first time we're getting leaks in that area now.
And
So-
is it still leaking into the buckets when it rains?
It is in the newer area. Yeah, there was a couple elbows up in the ceiling that were damaged that they repaired. They put a rubber boot on top over it, and it's not working. So the older section, I did have my roofers out there. Those have been repaired, but they will not touch the new section because of warranty issues or anything like that. But I do have, quite a few pictures, 25 to be exact, of some things that we saw in the newer section.
Part of that roof also gave out in the kitchen, correct?
It did. It did. Yep.
What's the time frame to?
Well, I talked to our roofer. I mean, it put out for bid. We can do it when kids are in school. We just have to do it in shifts. It'll be, we'll move kids around or we'll do it in the afternoon. We've done it at our other schools. We've done that too, but I mean, probably November, October, November, that when the contractors slow down, because they're super busy right now, but things will slow down for them and we may get even a better price because they like to keep their staff working throughout the fall months.
Is there a possibility to do a second shift or not?
There's a possibility that can absolutely be in the bid, that we'll have them bid that out. I mean, it'll be a little extra charge, I'm sure, but I'm sure it can be done. The problem is this fall, we know it gets darker sooner, so I don't know that situation.
May you potentially run into noise ordinance issues in neighborhoods? And
No, I don't think so. I think, I think we would be-
doing a second shift.
with the second shift, depending on how late they work, there may be some issues with that, yes. But I think we can do it during the day. We can just move some of the children out of the area. It's done all the time. We can do it in shifts that way too. So I just know that we're gonna have problems there. We really will.
How long do you think it'll last?
The old roof?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, it depends on the snow we get, the rain. I mean, it could last 6 months, it could last a year. But I don't think we should wait that long. I think we should look at doing it sooner rather than later. Like I said, it didn't affect the integrity of the roof. It's not going to cave in. But we are getting major leaks. And I mean, we're going to have some ceiling tiles fall if we don't catch them soon enough.
And the 700 is replace the whole roof? Or
The other half. Yes. And we also have to look at the new side to see what repairs. I mean, I do have, like I say, I will have a report and I will give it to Braun, the contractor, just to, say, hey, this is what we see that need to be repaired on that roof. With the two systems, they're just so hard to tie in together.
But the roof was kind of substantial.
It was, I
Substandard.
mean, yeah, it's near its end of its life. I know when we did a report a year and a half ago, it was things that are like major and had to get repaired. We didn't, I mean, we've always said warm, dry, safe. That's what we're looking for our buildings to be warm, dry, safe. But at the time, you know, there was never that money in a budget to do the complete roof, which is, you know, million two.
Okay.
And I say we have to look at too, because, you know, with the construction that's been done there, we're not sure where the contingency is. So there may be money left over from the
There-
contingency from the
there may
current
be,
work as
yeah.
well that could help offset that cost as well.
Because we put a lot of money into that, so we'd hate to lose that. just
Yeah, my
because-
concern is, and a lot of those areas that are now leaking are in the newer areas too. You know, we've got a lot of leaks in the newer areas.
The new renovated spaces.
Yeah, a couple, yep. Yep. That's a concern of mine too.
So I asked you before, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bad is this roof?
This one probably be, how bad is the roof?
Yeah.
I would say it'd probably be a 15, like I said before. I mean, I just know that if we don't take care of it now, it's only gonna get worse. You know, so I would really like to, you know, if we do have it, I'd like to get it finished and taken care of as soon as possible, because winter months coming, no telling what we're gonna get. You know, and if we get a lot of snow or ice on the roof, there's really not a whole lot you can do to repair that roof until it's thawed. You know, and that's where my concern is.
Yeah, I don't want everybody having to do their umbrella.
Right. We have that freeze thaw, you know, so things will melt and freeze right back up, and that's gonna cause a problem.
Okay, are there any more questions or comments? All right, thank you, Jack.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and our last discussion item, Mr. Wager, the 26M MOU.
All right, in your packets, we do have an MOU that we sat down and we worked out with the leadership of 26M and with myself and with Jack and Patrick there representing our transportation department. What we're experiencing right now is we are 6 bus drivers short of being able to fill our runs on a daily basis. And obviously, our first priority is to get kids into school, because if we can't get them here, then that's a problem right off the bat. So we would like to enter into this agreement. It gives us the flexibility to be able to fill those positions as needed on a daily basis. It compensates those that are going to be filling in those roles, and it does benefit both sides at this point better than previous agreements that we've had there. It is in the district's interest to be able to enter into this agreement. It would last until we basically finish negotiating the 26M contract, because we believe there are things we've talked about there that may help with this situation as well.
Does this null and void the previous one?
That one had already sunset, it already expired.
You have any comments, Tom? Oh, okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions? All right, Mr. Wright, action items, please take them away.
Item number 7, action items. Item number 1, Bloom Agreement. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the agreement between Taylor School District and Bloom. The purpose of the agreement is to provide the district with Google Workspace for Education Plus. Cost for the agreement is to not exceed $26,220. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Second.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Heath,
Yes.
Mr. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is excused. Mr. Wright is a no. Ms. Block.
Yes,
Okay, that carries 5-0 or 5-1. All right, item number 2, Toshiba contract renewal. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the Toshiba contract renewal for the district fax system. Cost for the service is not to exceed $5,670. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Second.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yeah.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt's excused. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
yes,
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
That carries 6-0. Item number 3, Myers Roof. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the request for added costs for the replacement to the Myers Elementary roof. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Block. Is there support?
second,
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Thomas.
No.
Mrs. Thomas.
No,
Ms. Shufelt excused. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
yes,
That carries 4-2. Item number 4, 26M Taylor Schools Support Staff Association, TSSSA Memorandum of Understanding. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the Taylor Schools Support Staff Association, TSSSA Memorandum of Understanding regarding bus driver staffing. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
second,
Support by Mr. Morris. Mrs. Thomas.
yes,
Ms. Shufelt is excused. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
yes,
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
That carries 6-0.
Okay, next on the agenda, we will hear from our superintendent, Mr. Wager.
Good evening, everybody. First off, before I get to kind of the heart of my report tonight, I do want to thank all the staff that has been pulling together at Holland, McDowell and Myers. This is from the parapros, the teachers, principals, directors, cooks, bus drivers, maintenance, you name it. Everybody has been out in full force and doing their best to make sure that those buildings are up and running for the students when we get them back into school on Monday. We appreciate everybody's flexibility. This was not ideal, and it was not a decision that came lightly, considering that delaying school for those days does mean that we're putting those schools with less opportunities when we have inclement weather or building issues or those things later in the year. So it was not a decision that was come to very lightly, but I believe in the end, it is the correct decision, and we will have those buildings on Monday ready because we've seen great work of our employees, of our staff pulling together and doing what's right and making sure that they'll be up and ready to go. On another construction related note, I'm going to kind of get into the heart of my report tonight. We've heard it a lot in public comment over the past few months, asking for an update on where we're at with the high school. And now is the time for me to provide that update on the status of the new high school facility. I wish I could say that I am here tonight to report good news, but unfortunately, that is not the case. When I was asked to come back to Taylor and take on the role of interim superintendent, one of the factors that motivated me to take on this role was the fact that we were going to build a new high school. This is why it is very difficult to deliver the following update on behalf of the Taylor School District. As I came on board, we were faced with a major dilemma. There was not enough money from the bond to deliver the high school that had been promised to the community. And this has happened to a few key factors, due to a few key factors. The biggest factor that we've seen is that not enough money was asked for in the initial bond proposal to cover the true cost of such an undertaking. This has been topped off by the fact that there has been extreme inflation in the wake of the COVID pandemic, and especially in the world of construction, where construction costs, depending on the materials, have risen anywhere from 35% to 65% in cost at this point. So initially, the plan was that there would need to be additional money that would offset from our general fund to be able to pay for where the school was going to be. The amount of money was originally considered to be around $20 million that would come from general fund to cover that difference. Again, as we've gone through this process of design and we've started looking into it, that is not enough to cover what the true amount would be. Most estimates that we started to receive that we are realistically in the range of $40 to $60 million short of being able to deliver what was promised. It was also realized that spending that money out of general fund is going to put a serious strain on the financial health of the school district as time goes on. And that's something that my team, when we came on board, we could not support at this point. Because we cannot, sacrifice the future financial stability of the district for this project. So The next solution was to look at changing the design of the building. Plans began that would have cut the pool, auditorium, and auxiliary gym from the final building design. But that was also found that it would not be enough to cover what that difference would be. It was realized that we'd have to go further, and that would mean cutting back the CTE programming spaces from the building, as well as the black box theater, and even cutting general classroom spaces. And that could result in a situation where we would have teachers without their own classrooms, where they'd have to share classroom spaces and work on carts. Something that we've heard loud and clear from our staff is something that they do not want to be in that role. So essentially, we got to the point we would be delivering a building with not enough classrooms, a cafeteria, and a gym, essentially. And this is just not acceptable to our students and our community, particularly when the current THS facility does meet some of the needs that we were set to be cut from the design that was out there. Over the course of the past year, my administration and the Board of Education have explored many different options beyond cutting back in the design or supplementing from the general fund. The following options have been explored by the administration and the Board of Education. We explored the idea of renovating Brake Middle School, where we are currently sitting, and adding onto it to make this a high school facility. It was hoped that using this building would cut down on a lot of that new construction cost, because a big portion of the building would just be renovating what's in place. In the end, we had all the estimates showed that running well over budget as well. We looked into purchasing the former Masco headquarters on Van Born Road and renovating that into a high school facility. This again ran over the budget and had with it some other considerations that we had to put into play, such as not as much space for putting athletic fields on the site, possibility that the location was not ideal for being centralized within our school district, and we would have had to borrow money to make the real estate payment for the land itself. So that was another one that we had seen as being an issue as well. We looked into redesigning and overhauling the current THS facility. This option also ran over the budget, but by a smaller, more manageable estimated amount, but still over budget. We even entertained whether we should go out and seek another bond from the community. And so many of you, I know we heard lots of feedback that in the spring and into the summer, there was polling that went out and was conducted on behalf of the school district to see if support was there for this idea. The polling came back and showed that so long as there was an option to renovate what we currently have, there would not be support to pass that bond. So we got to the point that that came off the table as well. I want to make it extremely clear. This Board of Education has worked tirelessly to consider every single possibility. They have taken their duty seriously and have exemplified what it means to be good stewards of the community's trust. And I want to thank them for that dedication in this extremely difficult reality. Ultimately, where we have arrived is that we have made the difficult decision to no longer proceed with building the new high school. We are also at this time deciding to not sell the 2 remaining sets of bonds that are available. And that comes to roughly $100 million of bonds that will not be sold. We have struggled long and hard with this decision, but a promise was made, and we cannot deliver a product that currently lives up to that promise. With this all said, here are some other key points to keep in mind when we are talking about the bond. There is one bond sale that had already taken place of roughly $30 million. Money from that sale has already been spent on furniture, playground equipment, and elementary school construction. We are in the process of reconciling what has been spent so far, but it appears that we have roughly $15 million still in those bond sales. Legally, we have to commit so much of that money within 3 years of the bond sale. And so we will be committing that to other projects in the coming months. So we will start to plan how to best use those funds to meet the district's needs and avoid penalties for not properly spending the funds. This could be used for roofs. This could be used for windows, parking lots, athletic fields, or any other items that need to be addressed. And I know we heard it a few moments ago, this really falls into that idea of warm, safe, and dry. And that is money that could be used for all of our buildings for that purpose. So when weighing the decision to not sell the other two sets of bonds, we did seek a legal opinion from our attorneys at Miller Canfield on what happens next if we decide not to sell. The opinion that we received state that once a community takes a vote and authorizes the sale of bonds, that authority cannot be rescinded. So essentially, once the approval was given by the community, there is always going to be that ability for the school district to sell those bonds in the future. So even though the district is not currently selling the bonds, a future Board of Education could make the decision to sell them later on. In the coming year, I have been putting out, and I really want to get started on developing a new 5-year strategic plan for our school district. Knowing that the authority to sell these bonds will always exist, I propose that when we do that process, this become a topic of developing that plan. That by doing so, by incorporating this into a strategic plan, we would then have the input from all stakeholders, because when they do the strategic planning, that includes community members, that includes teachers, that includes students, that includes everyone from within the community as a whole. And this will allow them to weigh in and have a voice in what we should be doing best with those bonds that are out there. But until we have that process, until we're able to analyze that and develop a plan, there will be no sales taking effect of the $100 million in bonds right now. We know that this is not the update that you wanted to hear, but this is currently the most responsible course of action for us to take. I know in my heart that as much as I wanted to see the new high school, and I did want to see that come to fruition, it would be fiscally irresponsible for us to proceed and cause long-lasting financial consequences for future generations to deal with. With that said, those of you that know me well, I am at my heart an optimist, and I know that we are going to continue to revisit our options into the future so that when the conditions change, we will have the ability to act and provide better opportunities to our students. We also want it to be clear that the Taylor School District Board of Education and its administration are always dedicated to our core mission of educating, engaging, and empowering all of our students. And we will only be able to do so by making sure that all decisions provide for the long-term stability of our school district. Thank you as always for your time, patience, and understanding. And I know we have a limited audience here, so I do want to say that a communication will be going out to the entire community this evening, expressing essentially what we've expressed tonight in the superintendent's report. As I said, not exactly what I wanted to deliver, but it is the responsible decision at this point. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner.
Can I just ask one clarifying question and point? Well,
You got 30 seconds.
when you say that they weren't sold, that means that taxpayers weren't levied the taxes, correct?
That is correct on that 100 million
I
that's
just wanna
there.
make sure.
So I will say that taxpayers will see the benefit because it will not go on to their future tax
Yeah.
bills. But correct, that is correct. And I believe we've already seen an analysis that even that first bond sale has started to come off some of the tax assessments as well.
Okay.
So,
Consent agenda, Mr. Wright.
We are moving on to item number 9, consent agenda, policy 0166.1 and policy 6470. First, we have consolidated items, payment of current bills, certified, non-certified, and administrative reports. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Ms. Shufel is excused. Mr. Ray is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
That carries 6-0.
Item scheduled for next agenda on Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. We have good news. It's not exactly for next time, but Celebrate Taylor is on the 10th. And we'd like you all to come out and celebrate the good things in our school district. Public comment. Thank you to all who are able to be here with us in person and online tonight. We understand the importance of continuing to keep you all informed and provide an opportunity for you to be heard. Tonight's audience participation will be for all who wish to speak, whether it be in person or online. We will begin with those in person. If you would like to address the board, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. After all those in person have had the opportunity to speak, that opportunity will be given to those online. Please take into consideration common courtesy and keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. We will provide and assist with timekeeping so that each speaker will be able to monitor their own time and know when to conclude, so all who wish to speak will have an equal opportunity to do so. If there are any questions at this meeting or by some other avenue, Superintendent Michael Wager or his designee will work on getting those answers in a timely manner. We will start with those in person. Are there any in person?
Caroline Pat, 6860 Jackson. Kyle, thank you for asking in regard to our taxes on that. That was a really good question for that. So I'm glad that you were allowed to ask that question. Also, I want big kudos and a big thank you out to Kyle. He called me today with a question, just a question, in regards to, okay, I'm over at Holland's Library. They have no library, by the way, if you didn't know that, librarian, and neither does Meyer. And so he said, I just have a question, being that you're a retired librarian. What do I do? Where do I start to buy, like that kind of a thing. I says, I'll be over in a minute. So Kyle and I went through and tried to get that library started anyways. And I have a feeling I'll probably go over tomorrow and try to finish it up, because we don't want the new person coming in and also open house or whatever to somebody to come in and say, what is this place? Because boxes were just stacked high. So thank you, Kyle, for calling me on the question that you had on that. Also, I just wanted to say that I'm very disappointed in the transparency that you all have. Get a little emotional. 45 years of my life have been with this district, whether it was kindergarten through high school, 12th grade, or 32 years working here. And it just never been where you had transparency or were to communicate with the people. So shame on all of those past and for you now.
Are there any others in person? Okay, there aren't any online. Mr. Wright?
Are moving on to item number 12, adjournment to closed session, policy 0137.2. Pursuant to Michigan's Open Meetings Act, being Public Act 267 of 1976, and as amended, I move the board convene in closed session pursuant to 8C negotiations and 8H material exempt from disclosure by state or federal statute. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yeah.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is excused. That carries 6-0. We will go into closed session at 6:44.
All right, the board is returning from closed session at 7:58 PM.
All right, moving on to item number 13, action after closed session. First up, we have a student reinstatement number 01-09042024. The motion is to accept the panel's recommendation. Is there a motion? Motion. Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Ms. Bly.
No.
Mr. Heath.
No.
Mr. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
No.
Mrs. Thomas.
No.
Ms. Shufelt's excused. Mr. Wright is a no. That fails 5-1. Right, item number 2, student reinstatement number 02-09042024. The motion on the table is to accept the panel's recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
No.
Mr. Thomas.
No.
Mrs. Thomas.
No.
Ms. Shufelt's excused. Mr. Wright is a no. Ms. Black.
No.
That motion fails 5. Right. Action item number 3, student reinstatement number 03-09042024. The motion on the table is to accept the panel's recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
Mrs. Thomas?
No.
Ms. Shufelt is excused. Mr. Wright is a no. Ms. Block?
No.
Mr. Heath?
No.
Motion fails 1-5. Action item number 4, student reinstatement number 04-09042024. The motion on the table is to accept the panel's recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mr. Thomas?
No.
Mrs. Thomas?
No.
Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a no. Ms. Block?
No.
Mr. Heath?
No.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
That motion fails 1-5. Right. Action item number 5, student reinstatement. Ms. Graham, do you know the number?
Probably 05.
05-09042024.
The motion on the table is to accept the panel's recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Morris. Mrs. Thomas?
No.
Ms. Shufelt is excused. Mr. Wright is a no. Ms. Block?
No.
Mr. Heath?
Nope.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
That motion fails 1-5.
Okay, the next on the agenda, board member comments. Well, I know this wasn't the greatest night, guys, but sometimes that comes with service. We know that we tried everything in our power to go forward. Sometimes that means going back a little, taking a reassessment. Know that your service is always needed and always appreciated. And we will go forward from here. Also, what did everybody think about the shirts?
I like them.
Yeah.
I think Emily, will you help us out?
Yeah.
Okay. All orders go to Emily.
Also, thoughts and prayers to all the families from the school shootings the past couple days.
Yep.
And our deepest sympathies go with our fellow board member, Stephanie Schufelt, and her family. And the recent loss of her father. Anybody else? I wasn't able to find the score of the football game. What was it last week?
30.
Allen Park.
No, Taylor? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 30 to 8.
I know that.
Ugh.
I wanna say it's like 30 something to like 8.
Okay, well, Griffins, go Griffins. Onward and upward, guys. Anybody else? Well, what are you gonna do? They tried. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay, anybody else? Anything else? Quit laughing,
I
Kyle.
motion to adjourn.
You can, I gotta close out the other
Second.
one. Adjournment, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Thomas, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Thomas. Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Schufelt is excused, Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Ms. Block is a yes, Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
We are, the Board of Education regular board meeting for September 4th, 2024 is adjourned at 8:05.